Hey there, it's your friend Patrick Massey. For some of you who don't know me, I'm a country recording artist. I've been on the scene since 1998, April 5th, 1998 to be exact, when my debut album, Get There From Here, came out. It did really well for me. It went top 10. My first one I remember was in Charlottetown, PEI, and it continued across Canada and around a lot of places in the world. A few short years after that, I was offered a major record deal down in Tennessee in Nashville, and a condition at the very end of it was that I had to remain in the closet. I had already come out at the age of 19 as a gay man, but I was not publicly out yet. The industry, however, wanted to see it a different way. They were trying to push me out of the closet. A lot of rumors and a lot of other things. So when I walked away from the deal, I basically got pushed out overnight. And it was a different world way back then. The internet wasn't what it was. There was no GoFundMe's. There was no Facebook. Websites were just starting. And it was they made it very difficult for me. But fortunately, I had a few different avenues that Rogers Television, for one, put me on TV. VTV, which is now CTV. And they've never not had my back the 23 years of my career. And I'm very, very fortunate for that. But I am struggling now more than ever. And what started my whole sort of, I never thought I would end up being a champion for human rights or helping people, or I was just trying to survive. And I'll always pay homage to Katie Lang, who in 1992 came out, and I walked through the door she held open 10 years later. And I will never, ever forget that. And then I started to realize as the time went by, I got this email a few years later after it had come out from this 19-year-old kid in Pennsylvania. He was 19 and he told me that he just heard about me today and he read this blog and listened to my music, and he said, maybe you don't think so, but for people like me, you're my voice. I was in my bedroom with a gun in my mouth and you gave me the courage to come out to my parents, and my parents accepted me. So you saved my life. And I was like, wow, it blew my mind. And I thought, I didn't really realize what I was doing, because I was just raised to live my virtue, live my truth, and, treat other people kinder than they treat you. And that's how I've always lived my life. And I think of two things that are very important to me that my mom always says. What makes your pain any more than anybody else's? And we're not given anything we can't handle in this life. And I try to live my life that way, but right now I'm overwhelmed. I've been applying for grant after grant. I'm not seeing any of the money turn up yet. And, I've applied for jobs. No one wants to hire musicians because they know we're not going to stick around. And I honestly don't think that we should have to give up our careers. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. It's really all I know. I've done other jobs over the years to subsidize it, and that's all those jobs have ever been. This is my passion. This is my heart. Like the shirt my mom gave me. Music is my happy place. It's my everything. And I'm on the verge of not being able to do it anymore. And it scares the hell out of me. Not only that, I had COVID. I stayed home. I followed all the health orders, and I still got COVID. And I was sick for 9 months. I couldn't get rid of it. So this whole year has been virtually wiped out for me. And I don't know what to do anymore, and it's getting very frustrating, but I try to remain optimistic, because that's the only thing we can do is live through light. Always choose the path that leads you to somewhere. And I want to choose the path to stay here and be here in this business, because there's so many people that still need my help. I hear from them all the time. And I want to be there for them, but I need someone to be there for me now so I can be there for other people in the future, specifically young people, especially LGBTQ2 plus youth and children. I hear from them all the time, and every 2.5 minutes, one of them are taking their life. Those are the statistics, people. So I feel an enormous amount of pressure to help these young people. And one of the things I want to do is obviously survive, so I need money for my own basic necessities. But the other thing that I really believe in is I started a record label in 2009 after nobody would help me without condition. So I thought it was only going to be to produce Patrick Massey, but now it's expanding to any underrepresented people. And the only condition is talent. One of the other things that I really, really want to do, and I have been doing for a lot of years, is mentoring people, and specifically LGBTQ2 youth. And it's something that's very important to me, because I want to leave them with the opportunity and give them the opportunity and the stage that I never had, because they deserve it. And there's a lot of amazingly talented kids out there, and young people, or, people that are later in their career. I also have started a company called Patrick Massey Music Services. I've now abbreviated it to PM Music Services. And that company was started in 2004 when nobody would help me. I had to self-manage, self-produce, self-book, everything under the sun. And now I've expanded that more into an artist crisis management because I've been in so many crises in my career and I've got out of them very quickly. Not without the help of my mom and a handful of people. My former manager, Beverly Moore, my friend Melanie Wood, Randy Slovak, Michael Caprio. There's a few other people, Sergio Brooks, Michael P. Keeping. There's very few people I've been able to count on in my life. And I've always had to find a way. Finley, Cadillac, and Vegas, I can't forget you. You guys have been there for me too. And lots of other people have been there for me too. And I'm sorry if I've left anybody out, but those are the prominent people for me that I still rely on. Specifically, number one is my mom. My mom has always been there. And I owe her a lot of money too, so I have to pay her back as well. So I'm going to leave it there, but I know I talk a lot, and I always do. That's why I'm starting a podcast too, because it's another way to outreach to youth and to young people that are struggling, that feel like they're alone. Because the whole reason I feel the need to stay here is because I never want anybody to ever feel how I was made to feel. It started when I was 8 years old, when I was not knowing how to read properly. And I was put in a corner by myself and told, you're reading so bad, you can't be in any group. It crushed me. And so when my parents took me to be diagnosed. They didn't know what it was, I guess, at the time either. And it was dyslexia. And after that, it crushed me for years. And I remember hearing when I was at the psychiatrist and psychologist getting diagnosed, and my parents said, what can we do? And they said, you better damn well find what your son's good at and damn well encourage him. And when I expressed interest in music, I'm one of 7 kids, people. My parents didn't have a lot of money. My dad's gone, and my brother's gone too. But they found a way, and they did encourage that and nurture and foster that in me. So I want to be able to give back. And I've been giving back my whole career, quite frankly. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence named me as a saint. St. Patty, Bull Rider of the Western Front. It's one of the most things that I'm so proud of in my life, because I believe we have to help to be helped. And I'm asking for help now so that I can continue to help. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry I got emotional. I didn't think I would, but I guess it's hitting home a lot more than I thought. So thank you for listening, and please give what you can. If you can't, you can always reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. I'm under Patrick Massey, PatrickMasse, and you can reach me at on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can go to patrickmassey.com and send an email, and or you can go to anywhere you can find me. But thank you for listening, and thank you if you're considering donating, and if I'm not the one you donate to, thank you for donating to somebody that's in need, because there's a lot of us right now, and it's very, very much appreciated. Stay safe and stay kind, and do something nice for somebody today while you're celebrating yourself.